go to round number 9. Let's start the predictions. Round number 9, actually, before we do, it'd be remiss of us not to give a little word out to our sponsors. So let's do that first.
He's target. Oh, here comes Koala.
Love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
So there they are, Rugby League 3 quarters. Go over to them on their Facebook page if you like a bet. Of course, our own WhatsApp group is becoming that rapidly due to Mr. Sale and Co. But yes, by all means, go over on Facebook, have a look at that, and yeah, happy days. Right here, I mean, I've already said, haven't I? I mean, this is going to be quite a weekend. It really, really is. The Saints take on the Giants. That should be a belter. We're going to come to that first of all in a moment. Then the Robins take on the Warriors. The Robins, I mean, look, this is a curtain raiser for the semi-final. Let's be fair, they will want to bounce back from that Catalan defeat. Warriors on a really, really good run. That's going to be a cracking game. The Leopards, Dragons, I mean, look, count Leopards out at your peril. Just count them out at your peril. A win's coming. Is Asiata going to be fit? We'll ask Steph in a moment for that one. Dragons, of course, will be coming to the LSV. Should be an absolute belter. The Tigers, Broncos, nothing's really on the line except pride. But you know what? It's a compelling game. I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it could be a belter. Then it's the Red Devils, Wolves. As Greg will tell you, Warrington's bogey team, they don't do well against the Red Devils. We'll talk about that in a moment and why on earth I put the Catalan Dragons badge next to Hull FC. Hey, you black and white fans, hope springs eternal. You won't mind a bit of that, would you? But no, alas, it is Hull FC taking on the Rhinos at the MKM Stadium. Right, okay, let's get to it, starting with the game at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Third and 9th last season, respectively. As you can see, the round 1 replay, of course, that came later in the season. 32-18, the way the Saints. Magic was the blowout, if you remember that beautiful Joey Lussick try. Remember that? It's a thing of beauty. 48 points to 6. And then, of course, round number 2 at the John Smiths this year, 28 points to 0. It's been 3 out of 3 for the Saints against the Giants. Second take on 6. So both teams improved on 2023 at the moment. 3-10 on the Saints. Nobody really surprised about that. 11-4. But look at the Giants there. 3 wins in Super League, plus that big win against Catalan in the Challenge Cup. They're coming into this game with brilliant, brilliant form. Players to watch has to be Adam Swift and Johnny Lomax are the 2 that I have chosen, gentlemen. This should be an absolute belter of a game. Let's quickly take a look at the runners and the riders for this. Chris Hill and Sam Hewitt, they're still going to be out. Andre Savelio is still absent. Hugo Salabio will return from his head knock and may play, but Jack Murchie is still expected to be out. That's a big blow for the Huddersfield Giants. Murchie's been playing well. As for Saints, of course, no Parsi still. Jake Wingfield out. No Alex Walmsley. Oh, actually, they're saying he might return from an hamstring, but I think that would be pretty risky, if I'm being honest. Lewis Dodd and Darryl Clark both in contention, unless Mr. Dodd's groin tightens up once more. Right, okay. Greg, we'll start with you. St. Helens Huddersfield should be a cracking game.
Yeah. If it's anything like the Leeds Huddersfield game, an absolute belter. I think Saints might save Walmsley and Clark for the cut. Oh, hang on, no. I think I think this has a potential to be an absolute classic. I think Huddersfield are playing really well. They seem to have clicked over the last few weeks. I think Saints have been rocked by that defeat from Warrington in the quarterfinals. I would have expected them to win by more last week. And I am going to please the Huddersfield posse. I am going to go Saints 9-17. So fully expect Huddersfield to win that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Before I bring you in, let's get a few in here. Swift will turn up, absolutely, Sammy lad. Well, let's see what people are saying in the chat. Right, Saints by 12, Neil Rennox there. Giants by drop goal, Freddie McGilvery saying. Connor Pickervan saying Saints 1-8. Don Kirkby, Huddersfield 1-8. Saints by 12, Craig Rigby. Michael Bell, Saints by 12. Murchie's going to be out for a couple of weeks, Joel is telling me, which is interesting. Yes. Steph, over to you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another belting game. This Saints obviously got themselves back on track again last week at home with that dominant display over FC. But obviously, it's going to be a different challenge this week. But I'm sure the Saints fans will get behind them, and it'll be interesting to see how Huddersfield go, given the efforts they've put in over the past few weeks. Whether this is a game too far for them at this stage. You'd like to think not. Hopefully, it'll be a close game, and this has got potential to be the game of the week for me. But I've played the same as Reggie. I've gone 9-17 to St Helens. I think they'll just have a bit too much for them. But I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big test this for Huddersfield. But I'll tell you what, gents, if Huddersfield turn Saints over, all of a sudden we're talking about Huddersfield being real contenders for the top 6, because I don't think any of us had them in the top 6 at the start of the season.
It could, like, as much as I've gone Saints 9-17, I wouldn't be surprised if Huddersfield won 1-8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, Steph. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's good counsel. Yeah, everybody's gone 9-17 Saints. Myself, Joel, fans forum, we've all gone the same score. We've all gone Saints. So Huddersfield, it's looking good.
Congratulations! Get that bet on at 3-1. It was 3-1. They were Huddersfield, so everyone lump on that. Happy days. Have a great weekend.
Happy days indeed. Right, we now go to Craven Park. Like I say, this is a curtain raiser for the semi-final. Not that you'll be able to read too much into that, of course. But yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at this. First and foremost, last year, 4th against first, we know that. Round 21 last year at the DW is 64 points to 6. Was that before the Challenge Cup, Steph? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. That was the big one. Obviously, yeah, the semi-final 11-10. And then, of course, round 13, a real tight one, 26-22. And we must remember as well, at the start of 2023, Hull KR turned over Wigan Warriors at Hull KR. That was a surprise, if you remember it, at the beginning of 2023. But the last 3 games, in Super League, the last 2 games in Super League have gone the way of the Warriors. It's 5th against 3rd, 21-10, the KR, 2-5, the Warriors. Current form, Wigan coming into this with off the back of 2 wins, 3 if you count the Challenge Cup. And of course, just that, I mean, they're in great form, weren't they? 4 wins in a trot for KR going into that Catalan game before they got turned over. Petr Hiku, I think, for me at the moment, probably one of the form players for KR one to watch. And I put Harry Smith there because I think his game management in games like this is really critical, really critical. When it's a tight game, Harry Smith, who's in great form this year, and he's almost flying under the radar, actually, has been really, really good. Right, before we go to Steph, I'll bring Steph in first on this. Michael Lewis missed KR's defeat with a glute injury, but he should be back for this game. So that's great news if you're a Hull KR fan. And Oliver Gildart, of course, if you remember, I don't know if he travelled, but he was declared fit for the Catalan game, but didn't play. He's got a big chance of returning for this one. Okay. As for the Wigan Warriors, still no Sam Walters-Esser, of course. He's out anyway, but he's gone to Catalan, Castleford anyway. Even Havard is expected to be out for another week or 2. Adam Kieran should return. Of course, no Isa, but we'll be seeing Ensemba a bit more in that second row position. Do you know what? These have served up some belting games in the last few years. Is this going to be another one, Steph?
100%. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned Walters there. I completely forgot about him.
Yeah.
Completely, it's frightening, isn't it? What Wigan have got is absolutely crazy. Because he was outstanding for Leeds last year, hence why Wigan picked him up. So to think they've got him to come back as well is... it's soul destroying, isn't it, for the rest of us? But I think the mitigator on this one is it's going back to Craven Park, isn't it? And Wigan haven't got the best history at Craven Park, if memory serves me right. Hull KR have turned them over a few times there. I think I'm right in saying that in the recent history. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Hull KR managed to put out the bag, especially given last week's performance. They'll be wanting to put a statement down, but I have to go with form and the class that I see that Wigan have got, and that's why I've gone Wigan 9-17, I think, on this one.
Yeah, and Greg Roach saying that it could be the game of the week. Do you know what? There's so many this week that could be the game of the week. I think this is a really good round of fixtures, round 9. Really looking forward to what's about to come our way this weekend. Sammy, he's not going to Leeds until next year, mate, so Hall will be playing for Hull KR this weekend. Right, let's get into the chat before going to Greg. Sammy's saying Wigan 12, KR 24. Ooh, Sammy going KR. Michael Bell, he's gone Wigan by 6. Robert William Hickson, good evening, Rob. Wigan by 18. Uncle Freddie McGilvery, he's gone Wigan 1-8, sees it tight. Dawn Kirkby saying that Gildart will play in place of Opachik. I bow to your knowledge, Dawn. Don't forget to get your ball signed by Mr. Hall and make sure you post it because, of course, Dawn was the winner of our quiz. Speaking of the quiz, the next one is the 13th of May at 8 p.m. and tickets will be available from next week. For you, if you remember, you don't have to do anything. You will be automatically enrolled onto it. Look out for your email. It will come from Eventbrite. You are automatically guaranteed a ticket because you remember, just do me a favour. And if you're not going to be able to come, release the ticket. That would be absolutely marvellous. Connor Pickavancy saying Wigan by 18 plus. Neil Rennick's Warriors by 14. So not an awful lot of love other than Sammy. Where do you think this one's going to go?
I hope KR have been stung by that defeat. I think they'll bounce back. And I'm going Wigan 1-8.
You're going Wigan 1-8. Well, again,
that's perfectly right. This has been a bit of a bogey ground for Wigan over the last few years. But I can't see, unless, like I said before, it's one of those games where Wigan just can't do it, like Hull KR at Catalan. Wigan are that much better again this season. I think they'll just get by. Did you own a beer there, Steph?
I think you did. I think you did.
I only had one Brewdog through the whole show.
Everybody's
I think Wigan 1-8.
Everybody's gone Wigan. The 9-17 crew is me, Schofield, Steph, and the fans forum.
Andy Bibby's gone for Golden Point, Hull KR.
Yes, I saw that. Andy Bibby, yeah.
That would be a game.
You've gone 1-8, and Joel has gone 18 plus. So Joel sees this as a big win for the Wigan Warriors. Right?
Have we had a Golden Point this season, just out of interest?
Not that I can recall.
Because I think that's a great shot. I think in this round, given the teams that are playing each other, I think there could be a Golden Point this week.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
In one of the games.
Could be. Well, we now go to the Leopards, of course, 5th against 2nd last year. And it's fair to say, Steph, that last year you didn't get your own way. Wigan and Catalan were the two teams that caused you the most trouble last year. Catalan 3 from 3 against the Leopards in 2023. Current league position, top plays 9th. I do think 9th, though, for the quality of the Rugby League he's been playing, probably not a real reflection on where they are. I think better times are coming. Current game odds 19-10. The Leopards, 4-9 on the Dragons. And it's quite ominous when you see 5 wins in a row in Super League in terms of current form. Of course, within that is the loss to Huddersfield as well, which we don't count in the Challenge Cup. As for Lee, they're on a 3-game losing streak. Matt Moylan, for me, I agree with Steph. I think Matt Moylan has been in great form. I think he's a real player. He's the one to watch for me. I think Warrington gave him far too much space on Saturday, and he caused Warrington a lot of problems. And Tom Davis, Tom Davis does a lot of work out of backfield. He's been having a really good season. I went Tom Davis. I don't know why, I just did, as one to watch. Maybe they'll go to his edge as opposed to the traditional left edge, just because why not? It's a different tactic. Greg, Lee against Catalan. This would kickstart the Leopard season if they could manage to do it. Before we go there, let me just bring you up to speed with the ins and the outs. Gareth O'Brien, no, he's gone. Briscoe's left, of course. Asiata and Ipape are closing in. Steph, just quickly, do we think Asiata will be fit?
He's in the 21-man squad.
I've not seen that yet, so that's happy days.
Wait, he's not released yet. It was, but Lamb confirmed in his press conference today he's in his 21-man squad, but very unlikely he'll play.
Right.
Mulhern's 50-50 if he's going to play. They're giving it till Friday.
Right.
But interestingly, these calf injuries at Lee, Mulhern's, it's his other calf that's potentially the issue now, which will explain the 20 minutes that he played Warrington and never came back, which would be, that would be a kick in the stones, that one, if he's got another calf injury. But he's running apparently. But Asiata has a chance of playing, and if you've seen Lamb's poker face today, as we mentioned earlier,
it could be a bluff. It could be a bluff.
It wouldn't surprise me if Asiata does 80 minutes on Friday night now.
And Pape's about what, 2, 3, still 2 weeks away?
A week away, apparently.
A week away, right? Okay. So, Greg, there you go. There's the inside track on the Leopards. Over to you, Steph. Last, what's your thoughts?
Lee played really, really well against us on Saturday. I think they're still going to struggle. The pack isn't as it should be, as Steph would agree. You're missing some big units in that pack. I would love Lee to win this because it would open it up at the top of the league. But I'm gonna delight all the Lee fans by going for a Dragons win 9-17.
9-17, the Dragons. Right. Over to you, Steph. Is this the game that you kickstart your season?
Well, I think McLaurin and McMeekin are right for Catalan, aren't they? So
they're banned, yeah. They're banned.
That's two big losses for them.
Ikevala as well. He's going to miss.
Is he? It's another big one, isn't it?
Jordan Abdul, obviously, he's not back.
Yeah. So I think we've got a chance. I really do. I don't see why not. Every game this season, we've been within scoring the same tries or within one try of pretty much every opposition we've been with, apart from Wigan. So I hope we can perform well. If we can get Asiata back, I think that could be a game changer.
Yeah,
with Mulhern as well. If both of those two are playing, then I think we've got a very good chance, especially with the players out for Catalan. So I think it's going to be an absolute cracker, and I'll use my golden point prediction. I think we're going to win it on golden point.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. And we actually are split on this one. We're all split on this one. So Gary Schofield, the fans forum, and Joel all go Catalan 1-8. Greg, as you've heard, has gone Catalan 9-17. I've gone with Steph. I've gone 1-8 Lee. I don't know. It's going to happen sooner or later. It could be this one. But I have gone, as you can see there, I have gone with Steph 1-8 to Lee. So there you go. There you go. At least it's not Greg.
I'll take it.
I said, at least it's not you predicting Lee.
Well, yeah, that's a Lee win, isn't it?
They can all come and annihilate me when we get beat by 40 on Wednesday next week.
Right. We'll go, Nicola Burtonwood's with. Here we go. Nicola's with us. Nicola's gone Lee 1-8. Hello, Nick. How are you? Hope you're well. Outstanding stuff. Greg Roach, he's gone with Catalan, Dragons by 8. Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, Satai and Desiree when they came off the bench. I mean, dearie me. Wow. I mean, they just blew him away from that point on. It was a contest up until they came on. To bring that much artillery off the bench, it is outstanding. So I see where he's come from there. Dawn Kirkby, she's gone the same way. Cats 1-8 as well. Sam Holt, Tina Holt, Lee 8, Catalan 12, always predicted. What's he said there about you, Steph? You're happy with that, aren't you, Steph? No. He's not at all.
I'll tell you what is interesting as well in this, just on the betting, because obviously we say the bookies aren't usually that far wrong, but have a team that's top of the table playing a team that's sat in 9th and we're only 2-1 to win.
It's respect, isn't it?
I think that says a lot.
Yeah, you're playing well, mate. You've just not had the rub of the green. It's there's moments in games, and unfortunately you've come off the wrong side of those moments. Freddie McGilvery, he's gone Lee 1-8. That's good news. Lee by 6. Robert William Hickson says Asiata back, Moylan back. Back to 6 is what he's saying. Maybe not. I would say
McIntosh could playing him at fullback and having Moylan back at 6 could be the difference.
Craig Rigby's gone Lee 1-8. Going to pick advance Lee 1-4. Catalan's by 20. Neil Rennox. Good evening, Neil, again. Lots going on there. Like I say, a bit of a split. What we didn't do before we went into this is had a quick look at the prediction league, and I don't like doing this when Gary Schofield is top, but he's top. But look at Joel. Joel up to 2nd. They both overtook me this week. Gary Schofield 1-3-4. Joel 1-3-3. I'm 1-3-2, and there's Steph and Greg level pegging on 1-2-2 apiece, with the fans forum now on 116. So all to play for in the bit of fun that is the prediction league. Right, we now go over to Saturday, don't we? Is it Saturday? I think it is. Oh no, sorry, we stay on Friday. My apologies, because we've got to look at this one. The Castleford Tigers take on the London Broncos at the Jungle this Friday. 10th against 12th. Look at the odds. 2-13 on Cass. 9-2 the Broncos. Just the one win, that win against Salford for Castleford. And the players to watch are picked out on this one, clearly in a senior. And Hakim Maludi of the London Broncos, who I think we'd all agree, has attributed himself pretty well thus far in Super League this season. Of course, Casper will have the likes of Corey Hall to call upon. Tex Hoy will probably make his debut. Lewis Senior more than likely saying out on the wing. So they're pretty much there. George Lawler, not expected to return after his seizure. He's still going to be out. So pretty much, I think, a very similar team to what played against Wigan. Ron Milnes did a hamstring, which is quite interesting. Westerman, when I spoke to Craig Lingard exclusively, members will see this tomorrow, Westerman is likely to play. No McShane, though. No McShane. McShane will not be playing in this game, he told me. As for the London Broncos, again, no real change for the Broncos from the team that they've been putting out on the field. So they'll this with the usual absentees, the likes of Leyland, Billy Leyland, etc. So that's where we are. Steph, I'll start with you on this one. I'm really, I don't know why. And you know what? It's probably not going to be the best game in the world. But, you know, as a purist, as a man that just loves his rugby league, I'm looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. It's the sadistic rugby league person in us, isn't it? You know, I think there's a bit of intrigue in this one, just in the losing Broadbent, because he won't be playing in this one, will he now? And then having so many players come in is quite disruptive. And it'll go one or two ways for Cass, that. You know, I mean, you'd like to think it can't get much worse, kind of thing. But having that many changes to your squad, whereas London are coming off the back of keeping Salford to 12 points, which is a tremendous effort by any Super League club. You know, Salford are a great attacking side. So that they'll take a lot of confidence from that. I've gone for this is the London win. 1-8.
1-8. The London Broncos, says Steph. What say you, Mr. Dixon?
I think Steph's right about the disruption that new players might cause to the Castleford side. You know, how long have they had to learn the moves, the defensive sets, the set plays? And I think that will have an effect, but I'm not going to back London on this one. I don't think this is the one they win. I think Castleford 9-17.
You're going Cass 9-17, as he's Birch, as is Nicola Burtonwood. Dawn Kirkby saying Wood, Senior and Hall all know each other very well. They do indeed, which is interesting. Robert William Hickson, Cass by 12. Sammy's gone London 18, Cass 12. He fancies a bit of London Broncos. Does he? We've already seen the top comments there on the screen by Craig Rigby. Come on, London. Is this the one for them? Freddie McGilvey thinks not. He's gone 9-17 Cass. Dawn Kirkby 9-17 to the Cass. Connor Pickervance goes London 1-8. Neil Rennick's Cass by 12. Oh, it's all a bit split on this one. As are we, the panel. Let's take a quick look through it. Gary Schofield, 18 plus to the Tigers. I don't see that. Really don't see that. Greg, as we've just heard, 9-17 Cass. The fans form have gone the same way. Joel's gone Cass 1-8. I have gone again with the sale. Oh, I'm going it. I'm going London. I don't know why. I just feel it could be the one. London Broncos. Could this be the one for the mighty Broncos? We will wait and we will see. It will be an intriguing contest, if nothing else. Right, we now move to Saturday to the Salford Community Stadium as the Wire take on the Red Devils with Paul Rowley still at the helm. Last year, it was one apiece. So you can forget that round 25 golden point game, 24 points to 20, a win for the Salford Red Devils. It was a brilliant game as well at the HJ in round 3. Salford went right out into the lead, and then back came the Wire in the second half to get a 36-20 win. 4th against 7th from last year, of course. current game odds 17-10, Wire 1-2. As you can see there, Warrington 3 wins in a row if you count the Challenge Cup. As for the Salford Red Devils, of course, come through London last week. They've had a couple of in the last 5 there. I think this is going to be a master against Apprentice. I think this is going to be fascinating to see the young Leon Hayes go up against, let's be fair, one of the most professional and best kickers in the Super League era in Mark Sneed. I think it's going to be a great, great game of rugby league because, of course, my mate Reggie's the Wire fan will come to you first on this one. Steph, again, both of these two teams like to play attractive rugby league. I think here's a question for you. Within the camp, it was probably high-bosh pretty quickly that Rowley wasn't going to Hull FC. Yeah. Will this make him a little bit underprepared for this?
No, I think it'll have the exact opposite effect. I think it'll galvanise him, knowing that Rowley's 100% behind him for now. These games over the last few years have been fantastic games. They've swung one way and another. Wire have gone there and won. Salford have won. Salford have got kind of a bit of a hoodoo on us. Golden Point win last year. It depends which Salford turns up. Is it the Salford that turned up against Wigan and against Saints? Or is it the Salford that turned up against London? I am a little bit concerned that this is our OKR game where we've been playing well, and this is one where we start running in treacle. And I hate to say this, but I'm going Salford 1-8, and this for me is the Golden Point game.
So you've changed from the one that you sent me.
I went for Salford 1-8.
No, you didn't. You went Wire 1-8.
No, I've got it there, mate, on screen.
Have you?
Salford 1-8.
I misread yours. My apologies. Yeah, he has. Salford 1-8. My apologies. He has gone Salford 1-8. I don't think. Well, Michael Bell there. Salford 18+. That's a big shout.
It
Mike.
Could happen.
Could happen.
Because it depends which Salford turns up.
It could. Well, Andy Bibby disagrees with Mike. He's gone Wire comfortably.
I hope you're right.
18. That's not comfortable. Nicola Burtonwood, she's gone Wire 1-8. Golden Point again, says Peter Mason. But which way, Pete? Which way? Speaking of Peter Mason, really looking forward to spending some time with Peter at the Wigan Catalan game. He's coming over from Belarus, and I'm going to be spending the afternoon with him. Really looking forward to meeting our Peter that day. Right, the Wire 32, Salford 14 after a Salford early lead. Dawn Kirkby, she's gone the Wire. Freddie McGilvery's gone the Wire 9-17 as well. So there you go. Pardon?
Freddie.
Freddie,
what are you doing, mate? You tip Salford and then Warrington win.
Well, he's just enjoying himself. He's allowed, it's Freddie. Look, this is Uncle Freddie. Uncle Freddie can do what he likes. Right, Mr. Sale, over to you. Salford, Warrington should be a cracking game if they both throw the ball about.
Yeah, absolutely. Two quality sides, and I've been very fortunate to watch both Warrington and Salford live this season, and I've been very impressed with both teams. When it's different when you see it live to watch it on the TV. They're both very good teams. And it's interesting in the chat the amount of people who are saying golden points for different games. I'm convinced if you're going to put a bet on this week that there's going to be a golden point win this week, but it won't be in this game because Wire are going to stuff them 9-17.
Hope you're right, Steph. Hope you're right.
I think it should be a cracking game. Like I say, they are the bogey team. Only Greg then going the way of Salford. Everybody else is going the way of Warrington. 9-17 seems to be the way. Everybody's gone 9-17 the Wire, bar Greg, who has gone Salford. So there you go. That's an interesting one for you.
Won't be allowed in the Halliwell Jones from now on.
I just think it'll be a great game. I think, and again, what's going to be, I mean, it's such a fascinating one, this, because if you look at the 3/4 line, the size advantage is clear in terms of McDonald and Lafay. That is colossal. It really, really is. But I do think, that the middle unit is Warrington. If Warrington's front row, Harrison's in great form.
Forwards win games, exactly.
I thought it was really encouraging watching. I mean, like I say, it's the part of the game that doesn't get celebrated enough. Nicholson's defence against Lee was just magnificent.
Magnificent.
wasn't it? So, and then Fitzgibbon. And the thing about Fitzgibbon is, you can look at Fitzgibbon's game statistically against Lee. There was other second rowers throughout the league that might have posted more meters or more tackle busts or whatever. But what he did had a fundamental part in Warrington winning that game.
Yeah.
Correct.
It wasn't how many moments he had. It was the fact that every moment he did have was just pure quality. I agree with Steph. I think he's a quality player. Newcastle Knights said when he left, they were gutted that he went and wanted to get a champion professional player. And I think we're seeing that. I think Fitzgibbon at the moment, it's a bit early yet, but he's absolutely in contention for a second row spot in the dream team at the end of the season.
Listen, if he played for Saints or Wigan, he'd be in contention for Man of Steel.
I don't think he's doing that well.
Right? Yes, he is. He's that good.
We can agree to that. People like it when we disagree, so I'm going to disagree with you.
I'll tell you what, Fitzgibbon and Nicholson has a potential to be, with Curry at loose when he gets fit, has got potential to be the best back three in Super League. The potential. I'm not saying they are yet. Has the potential.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all playing well. They're in good form. So it's really, 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 really interesting. But yeah, there you go. Happy days, wonderful stuff. And just like that, we arrive at the final game. And that final game is going to, of course, be Hull FC taking on the Leeds Rhinos. Here it is, 10th against 8th from last season. Look at the scores. If you look at that there, round number 2 at Headingley, 22-18 last season. Round number 9 was at Headingley, 34-10 win for the Rhinos. And then, of course, round 24 at the MKM, a 28-12 win for the Rhinos. More importantly, what's the current form like? The current form, as you can see, I've got opening round written for therefore. I'll have to get that changed. But, of course, Hull FC, 5 losses on the spin. 2 losses on the spin now for the Leeds Rhinos. They're not coming into this with good form, yet they are 1-8 on, which I think is pretty generous the way they've been playing. 11-2. Jack Charles, Brodie Croft. We've already talked about it as part of tonight's show. Brodie Croft was utterly deflated. Where's the Man of Steel gone? Oh, dearie me. He would love a familiar face in the dugout. But that's a little bit contentious, isn't it? We'll keep an eye on that one. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Hull FC, it's loads of injuries. Jack Walker should be back, they're saying. That would be a massive, massive bonus. Because Walker was their best player. Before he went out, Walker was having a great season. So if he is back on Sunday, that is a real positive for the Hull FC. As for Leeds Rhinos, the likelihood is no Foster Tua, no Harry Newman. Donaldson, there's still question marks over him. James Bentley, of course, he's still recovering from his HIA. No Handley as well. They'll be a little bit flattened off the back of the Huddersfield loss. I don't fancy, I'll just go out there straight away. I don't fancy Leeds for this, but, well, no, there is no but, really. Over to you, Greg. Leeds against Hull FC.
Yeah, just replying to Andy Bibby why Fitzgibbon will be Man of Steel with Saints. I was being a little bit facetious, sir.
Yes.
Tongue in cheek, mate. Tongue in cheek. Yeah, this has a potential to be Hull's first win. A new kind of management. They've missed out on Rowley. They've got Broadbetter. They've got played out Tex Hoyce. Blah blah blah. Potential to be Hull's first win, but I think Leeds are going to win 9-17. I think Leeds was stung last week. I think Rohan Smith has got to get the troops behind him. I think he will. I think this is where maybe Leeds start to come back into it. Leeds 9-17.
Well,
sorry, Dawn. Yes.
Yeah.
Hull have won a game. I apologise.
They have, yes. Yeah, they won a
game.
They
beat the mighty London by 4 points.
2, wasn't it? Was it 2? But yeah, Leeds 36, Hull FC 0, Sammy. Leeds 9-17, Nicola Burton won again. Proud member, Nicola. Good evening, Nicola. Robert William Higson, Leeds 18. Tyndall maybe back, says Callum. Rhinos 9-17, Leeds 18+. They're all coming in here at this moment in time. Steph, one thing's for certain. If Hull FC win this, Rowan Smith, he's packing his bags, isn't he?
Absolutely. I don't know if Craig Rigby's been on the single malt, but he's going Hull 8-1. I don't know if he's on Bet365 there rather than the score predictions.
It's late at night. He might have had a single or two.
I'm sure he's had a single. Maybe he's dancing somewhere on the WhatsApp group. It's 1-8. I think you meant there, Craig. It's I think Briscoe maybe making his first game, coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Ed Chamberlain, they could both get a hat trick each in this one, couldn't they? And make it really interesting. No, it's not going to happen, is it? It's Leeds 18 plus all day. This.
Yeah, the only one, like I say, I think only Reggie's gone 9-17. Everybody else has got 18 plus on this for the Rhino, which is quite interesting. But I think probably with the exception of that last game, where everything points to a very comfortable Leeds win, every other game this weekend, if you like your rugby league, you've got to be watching this weekend.
Bless me.
Absolutely, the hay fever's kicking in there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. As always, we say every week, the membership is open. Can't do it without you. We really do need your support. Please, if you have been considering becoming a member, please do become a member. For less than a latte a month, you get all of this entertainment. And, of course, you get the comps and all the rest of it. And in less than 2 weeks' time, Super League Raw will be sending a member to the Challenge Cup final. 2 tickets to the Challenge Cup final on the way. Of course, the quiz is coming back in May. Members go to that as part of their membership. Go over to Patreon, have a look at it. Who's going to win the next quiz? What's the prize going to be? Can't be a ball. We've done that. Going to have to be a little bit different, isn't it? It's going to have to be a little bit different. And, of course, don't forget, the shop's open, or it will be. I'll be sending the links out. Stop the season now. There it is, Reggie, the model. And I have to say, I think the designs of these really, really nice. It has to be said. I don't want a bit of bias, but I love the wire one. I think that's absolutely splendid. Give a little respect, of course. You can't be a bit of erasure at Hull KR. Don't go out tonight as well, you Salford Red Devils fans. Keep your eyes peeled. If your team hasn't got one yet, one is coming. Do support us. It will be fantastic to see Super League Raw merchandise on the road. We've got the car stickers, but you know what? It's a conversation starter. Where did you get your ticket? Where did you get your T-shirt from? I got it from Super League Raw. Who's Super League Raw? Let me tell you who Super League Raw are. And you know what? Tuaman, Lingard, Applegarth, Rowley, Partington, every In Conversation guest have said the same thing. We are a breath of fresh air for the competition, for rugby league. We promote it, we love it, we celebrate it. Nobody does it the way we do it. We need the community to grow. We need your support. Go to Patreon, take a look at the membership. Please take one out. It will be really, really appreciated if you could.